There is a lot of information to take in about the Morgan silver dollar. So today I wanted to simplify it a little bit. Some people might not know what a Morgan dollar is. Some people might just be getting into it and they want to know a little more about it. Hello YouTube, how you doing today? This is what we're going to be talking about. So the Morgan dollar is of course a $1 coin. They're made from 90% silver, 10% copper. They were minted from 1878 to 1904, and then again in 1921. They were minted in 5 different locations: Philadelphia, San Francisco, New Orleans, Carson City, and Denver. The only year that they made Morgan dollars in Denver is in 1921. Some of the more rare dates to look for in the Morgan dollar series, the two most rare dates are 1895 and 1893. I say those are the most rare dates because any mint in that year, which means whatever, if it's 1893 or 1895, whatever the mint mark is, it's still rare. Some dates you have, you could have one mint mark and it's not so rare. You could have another and it's 10 times more rare. Now the mint mark is a letter on the back of the coin. You can see this one has an O underneath the wreath at the bottom. That's where the mint mark is on the Morgan dollar. This one is an O, which indicates New Orleans. You can tell a coin was minted in Philadelphia if it has no mint mark at all. If it's a Denver, then it would have a D on it. San Francisco is S, and Carson City is CC. Now, I don't have any Carson City examples to show you. I have owned them before, but I sold them all. This is an 1880. It's very worn, but it does have an S. Here's an 1899. There's an O on there. Let's see, what else do I have? I thought I had a 1921D. I have a 1921S. So, some other key dates to look for are 1901 Philadelphia, which means no mint mark. For Carson City, well, any Carson City date is rare. Okay, if no matter what the date is, if it has the Carson City mint mark, which is 2 C's, then it's rare. The most rare one being 1889, with a mintage of only 350,000. The most rare Morgan dollar in existence is the 1895 Philadelphia mint. They only made proofs. Okay, proof Morgan dollars for any date are very, very rare. Now, what is a proof? This is a proof. This is a modern quarter 1998 S. Nowadays, they make most proofs at the San Francisco Mint. But proofs are made with highly polished dies. Now, the die is the piece that strikes the coin to put the imprint on it. And these are, as you can see, this has like very black fields and more frosty details on it. This one isn't the best example, but it's pretty nice. So that is what a proof looks like. They're not made for circulation. Nowadays they're made for collectors. So proof Morgan dollars are extremely rare, and 1895 they only made proofs in the Philadelphia Mint for 1895. They're extremely rare because they only made 880 approximately. About half of those are estimated to exist today. So less than 500 probably are still in existence, because at one point Morgan dollars were actually melted down in bulk, which makes some dates even harder to find. So some other dates to look for are 1893, again, any mint mark. The second most rare Morgan dollar is the 1893 S. So it would have the S mint mark on the reverse. 1893 O, 1893 Carson City, those are rare as well. Also Philadelphia. Other dates to look for, of course, 1882 Carson City, 83, 84. Some of the more rare Carson City mints are 1881, which only has a mintage of 296,000, and I'm looking through the Red Book for this information. This is a great resource for any US coins, whether modern or super old. So 1885 Carson City, that's also very rare with a mintage of only 228,000. Another rare date is the 1888 S with a mintage of only 657,000. 1889 S, not the rarest, but it has a mintage of only 700,000, which is pretty low. Average mintage for the Morgan dollar, you could probably, I can't talk today. You could be looking anywhere from 5 million to 13 million. Okay, that's like typical mintage for the Morgan dollar. So anything really under $1 million is pretty rare. So 1921 is probably going to be your most common date. They made tons of them. They made combined like over 80 million. And they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and they made tons of them, and they're probably the most common one out there. In higher grade, like in really high grade, you're talking a few $100 depending on the grade. But other than that, they really don't carry that much of a premium unless it's a very particular coin. So there are a lot of other things you can look for besides key dates. Also, you could look for die varieties, which are also called VAMs. I have a couple examples here. This one is an 1899. It's an O mint, and see how small that mint mark is? This is called a micro O. That is a VAM variety. This one's in 1882. I actually have a whole video on this that I found, that I bought. This one is an O over S, which basically means it has an O stamped over an S mint mark. And that's actually a VAM 3, for those of you who know a little more about it. So some dates like 1883, 1884, 85, 86, 87, really from 1883 to 1889, anything with an S mint mark is a little more rare. Bit of a more semi-key dates going on there. This is an 1883 S, but just because it is a better date doesn't always mean it's more valuable. Okay, this one in this condition, this is really worth no more than most other coins in its condition because it's just that worn. Yes, it's a better date, it's a better mint mark, but at the same time it's very worn out, and especially ones with a lot of dings and scratches, you're not looking at a very high premium for those. So I just wanted to share that knowledge with you today. I love these things. I definitely would encourage anyone to get into them because not only are they fun to collect, they're a great investment because there's a lot of silver in this big old coin. Alright, so thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, post a comment down below, and keep cherry picking and happy hunting.